Hello, behavior workers. Do we like that? I just came up with that actually recently. My name is TURI and I am a registered behavior technician here in the state of Florida. I am back and with a part 2 to my part 1 of the Discrete trial training video I have made earlier. If you still have not seen that video, I highly encourage you to watch that one first before you watch this one, just so you can get a little bit more background information on what it is we're doing here today. So I will be sure to leave you a card up here so you can click on it and head over there first before you get into this one. In today's video, I will be going over both the programs of motor imitation as well as listener responding, which can be found in the VB-MAP assessment. If you find this video helpful, please be sure to give me a thumbs up as well as subscribe to my channel. Without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? I will be first going into what the program is, what it entails, and I will then cut into a clip of me and my client, who is actually my colleague, acting as my client, in a DTT session where we are working on that particular program. I will then be breaking up that same clip into into little itty bitty pieces so that you are able to take a look at how I am taking data throughout my session, if that makes sense, using my DTT data sheet. Okay, so the first program that we will be going into today is listener responding. So to keep it very simple, listener responding is simply an instruction given to a learner and they comply with that instruction and they follow through with the instruction. The SD in this program is the instruction itself. So in the clip that you are about to watch, the SD will be me saying, touch your nose. That is the SD in this example. You are going to see me work with my client, trying to get her to move from the most amount of help, which is a full physical prompt, hand over hand prompt, to the least amount of help, which would be getting her to an independent, right? That's our goal here at the end of the day. We want to get our clients to independent, to where they can do this all by themselves without any prompting. When it comes to listener responding, it is very important that we remember the model prompt that is here. That is often forgotten, but in listener responding, we are modeling the instruction for our client. That is one of the prompts, so do not forget that. Okay, let's go ahead and cut into the clip. Or is it this way? Whichever way, let's cut into it. Let's see how it goes. I'll be back. Pay attention. Touch your nose. Excellent. Touch your nose. Perfect. Touch your nose. Touch your nose. Touch your nose. Wonderful. Touch your nose. Perfect job. Touch your nose. Wonderful, you did it. Touch your nose. Excellent. Touch your nose. Perfect. Touch your nose. Touch your nose. Touch your nose. Wonderful. Touch your nose. Perfect job. Touch your nose. Wonderful, you did it. So guys, how'd it go? You guys ready to do some DTT? Kidding. I definitely expect you to watch this clip like several times, like this whole video. I expect you to watch it several times before you are able to understand exactly what it is I'm doing. It takes a second, guys. You're not just born knowing how to do DTT, so don't feel discouraged if you are confused. You're fine. I also had no idea what I was doing. I learned. You'll learn too, okay? So anyways, let's talk about it. Okay, so when I first started with the instruction, again, the SD, touch your nose. I gave my client a full prompt, which is hand over hand. I put her own hand all the way to her nose, That is a full prompt. She got it correct and I praised her. I then moved to a partial prompt. In this one, it's still hand over hand, but I let go halfway, having her complete it by herself. So now if you guys are paying attention, when I got to the model prompting is when I started getting some incorrect responses from my client, right? So I went to model prompting, which is me modeling. So I said, touch your nose. I touched my nose, modeling the prompt for her, and she touched her forehead instead. That was an incorrect response. If you noticed, I did not praise her because she obviously didn't get it right. There's no need to be praising or reinforcing that. I then made my way back up the trial and went to a partial prompt, right? Are you with me so far? So as we moved up the trial, I gave her a partial prompt. She got that one correct. And if you notice, you might have been like, okay, Anna, she got it right. Why didn't you praise her? Well, I didn't praise her, folks, because we are still moving up. I still had to provide her with more help, so I did not praise her. It was not until we moved back down again, down the trial sheet, from partial to modeling, where she got it right that time, that I praised her. It's very, very, very important to remember, no matter what program you're working with, when you're doing DTT, make sure that when you are moving up a trial, it's because they're giving you the incorrect response. So even if they do get that one correct, because you still moved up, you are not going to provide them with praise. It is only when you are moving down, which means you are giving them less help, that you do provide them with praise. Okay, I can't hold it in anymore. How amazing does my hair look, guys? How cool is this? All right, it's freaking cool, if you ask me. Guys, this quarantine has us all, it's rough. It's really, really rough, you know? So I need to do something to like spice up my life, you know? So instead of going crazy and dyeing my hair, I was like, all right, I love braids. I've done them before. I've done like my whole head, my entire head. I put like these burgundy braids in before. That was fun. Super heavy, but it was fun. So I was like, all right, let me go do it again. Haven't done blonde yet. So I went in with the blonde and it looks fabulous. If you like it too, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, give me a thumbs up. Yeah, thanks. All right, back to what we're talking about. Next up, we have motor imitation, folks. So motor imitation, to put it simply, is when a learner imitates what you model. The SD in motor imitation is do this. In the following clip, I will have my client imitate me as I touch my nose. I keep the example of like touching nose because RBTs, when they are first learning this skill, they do tend to get listener responding and motor imitation confused because they can look similar even though they have completely different SDs. So I kept it to kind of confuse you, but to kind of help you out. Sorry. So in motor imitation, it's also important to know that there is no modeling per se in the actual like trial sheet. You will not see an M like you did in listener responding because you're actually modeling the entire time. Okay, so this leads me into my next point. It's very important to also remember, it's a lot of things to remember, I'm sorry, that when you are doing motor imitation at a full, let's say we're starting at full, so you use the SD, do this, and then you touch your nose, and then you grab your client's hand and then make them do it, right? When RBTs are first learning this skill, again, this is something they also tend to confuse. They'll just start with do this and then have their, like, go into a full prompt and do it to their client. But if you think about it, your client's only seeing you say do this and you're not doing anything. So is that motor imitation? No, it's not. You're not doing anything. You're just making them do something, right? So make sure that you are modeling every single time. Every single prompt you're giving them, you are modeling. Even at independent, you're saying do this, and they are going to imitate what you're modeling, right? Hence the name motor imitation. All right, enough chit chat. Let's cut into the clip and pay attention again. I'll be back once more. Do this. Excellent. Do this. Do this. Do this. Good job. Do this. Perfect. Do this. Wonderful. You did it. Do this. Excellent. Do this. Do this. Do this. Good job. Do this. Perfect. Do this. Wonderful. You did it. Alrighty, so let me go ahead and break down what it was that we just saw. I started at a full physical prompt, right? So I said, do this, modeled it, right? Every time we model it. And then I grabbed her hand and did a full physical with her. She got it correct, I praised her. I then moved down to partial, where she got the incorrect response. Instead of touching her nose, she touched her forehead. I did not praise her, and I moved back up to full again. At full, I said do this, gave her another full. She got it correct, but because we had to move up to get the correct response, I do not provide her with praise, right? So again, guys, remember, we only praise when we move down the trial. Okay, so we move on to partial from there, where she gets it correct, so I do provide her with praise, okay? And then from there we moved on to gestural, which is where I pointed to her. Do this, you go to your nose, right? And then I went to independent and she got it correct. So as we go down, I do provide her with praise and with reinforcement. Alrighty folks, so that's actually all I have for you for today. I will be back with a part 3 though. I do want to go over introverbals with you all and dive into going from least to most. All we've done so far is from most to least. So I'll be back with that. I do encourage you all to grab somebody, anybody, your parents, boyfriend, girlfriend, brother, sister, to role play this with. Have them be your client and you be the therapist, and actually try and go through the motions and do this yourself, because it is not the same as just watching it, okay? It is a whole nother animal. You know, each program has its little things you need to remember, its own little rules. So go ahead and try it. I wish you the very best. Let me know how it goes, please. You can pop open a White Claw or something, make it a little bit more fun. It is a great time. It's my idea of a good time anyways. So I will see you guys very soon. Please stay safe. I wish you all the best and talk to you soon. Bye.
What a wonderful world. What a wonderful world.